Lesson 27 and the law of diminishing returns. Law of diminishing returns. Right, and here there is at least one fixed factor of production. So what does that mean? It means that there is one fixed factor of production. So it means that you have, say, 5 acres of land, and that is your fixed factor of production. You can't have any more in the short run because you've got to go out and buy more land to make the whole farm bigger. So that is, I'll repeat the word about 4 times now, a fixed factor of production. Right, in the long run, everything is variable. So you can have a completely different size of manufacturing plants, a completely different size of farm. Now on here you have costs per unit and output along here. And the costs in the short run depend upon the law of diminishing return. What is the law of diminishing return? It is when you have one fixed factor of production and you keep on adding variable factors to that fixed factor. And what we then do is that we then work out the marginal product of each individual. So let's go back to the farm example again, and let's say the first person comes on the farm, units of labour, variable factor, and they produce 5 units. So that's that person's marginal product. The next person comes along and they produce 10 units. So then the average product is 7.5, put it there, 7.5. And then on the third one, right, maybe because of specialisation of labour, division of labour, they had 12 factors, 12 units. So then the average then is 22, 27, 3 into 27 is 9. So that's the average product. And in the fourth one, they had 5 more. 27 plus 5 is 32. Divided by 4 is 4 8 to 32. And that is 8. So that is the average product on there. Okay? So the marginal product is above the average product until it goes below it. Sorry about that. On there. Now the actual key thing is the law of diminishing returns will also affect the cost curves. So as the marginal product is increasing, the marginal cost is falling, and as soon as the marginal product starts to fall, the marginal cost curve will start to increase. Hence, this is the marginal product, it's increasing all the time, and that is the lowest point on the marginal cost curve. And the average product, the marginal product will go through the average product curve, and when the marginal product curve goes to the average product curve, you'll be at the lowest point of the average variable cost. Now, how do you work all that out? Well, it's all worked out mathematically for you. Okay, this did once come up on an exam paper, and it's the first ever examiner's meeting that I've ever went to in my life. And the question was something like, how does the law of diminishing returns impact upon the firm's cost curves? So everybody wrote about the law of diminishing returns, but they said hardly any student could explain how the law of diminishing returns affected the cost curves. Well, there it is. Okay, I'll just explain it again. As the marginal product increases, so the marginal cost will fall. Okay, and as the marginal product starts to fall, the marginal cost curve will go up. Now, when I say that, it sort of makes sense. And when the marginal product curve goes to the top of the average product curve, that will be the lowest point of the average variable cost curve. So the law of diminishing returns will affect the short run average cost curve. Okay? So basically, fundamentally, all the law of diminishing return is you have one fixed factor of production, you keep on adding variable factors to it, and eventually there will be diminishing returns involved. Hence it's called the law of diminishing returns. We throw the concepts on here: increasing returns to scale, decreasing returns to scale, and constant returns to scale. Very simple is, if we increase inputs, just say let's increase them by 10%, and we get an output of greater than 10%, say 20%, we will say there are increasing returns to scale, which means you're getting more out of your output. Decreasing returns to scale and increasing inputs will lead to a less than proportionate increase in outputs. Less than 10%, say 8%. Okay? And constant returns to scale is when, so I can't speak, is when you get an increase in inputs of 10% and you get an increase in output of 10% from there. Okay, so this is the law of diminishing returns in relation to relationship between cost and product curves. So these are the product curves which show the law of diminishing returns, which take place at there. Okay.